bats.
Oh, the bats.
Do you remember that?
Oh, I remember it.
Wait,
Well,
was the time where the squirrel ended up in the house the same week?
No.
no, that's another time.
Oh, that's another
Oh,
time.
that's another time. The bats were, we had,
Mother
it
was
was
in
all
Germany.
wooded there.
Your mother was in Germany at the time.
With the bats?
Yeah, and she called on the telephone, right, Frank?
Yeah, but the thing
And all of a
is,
sudden, while I'm on the telephone, I see this thing swoops in under my nose. I said, "What is that?" I was
But-
in the dining room, and I had the light. The chandelier is very crystal and very bright, so it attracted the bats.
Shiny.
but
Yeah.
the thing is, what the stalls had just moved in. You know, the stalls alongside, they just had moved up because the Hadleys who were before them. They sold the house and sold it to the stalls. So that evening, when the bats were there and your grandmother saw it, I said, "Gee whiz, you better call the police."
Frank, you got the story a little
No.
mixed. You were sleeping.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was.
You were sleeping, and I tried to wake you. I said, "Frank, there's bats. I think it's a bat in the dining room." And you said, "Let me sleep." you didn't wake up.
So there was a bat?
Okay.
So-
So we called the police, and
You called the. That's
and they
interesting.
came in.
Why would you call the police for a
Well,
bat?
what would
Yeah.
you do? Who would you call?
Why did you
I mean-
get a
Middle of the
broom
night-
and
middle
just?
of the night, the bats were
No, yeah.
going around
You
in the
didn't-
house.
We didn't know what the heck it was, really. I mean, it could have been anything else.
Well, it wasn't a robber.
Well, the thing was, this is all a coincidence that happened. So the stalls had just moved in, and they heard a lot of screaming, and the bats were, there, and she was screaming like the Dickens, and I was there. So I told them that there was something in the house. I wasn't certain. So when they came in, the lights were going on the outside, and they came in with guns.
You want to
And
hear?
the stalls saw that, and they said, "Oh my, what a neighborhood we're in here!
Yeah.
What a neighborhood!"
Police comes to the door.
Wait, how many
with their
bats were
guns.
there?
There was a nest of
Well,
bats.
I know, but you only saw one at this point, right?
Yeah.
Two.
Two.
But they were behind the mirror.
They were behind, and they had made a nest behind them. That mirror right there, that large mirror.
It was
They
behind.
made a
made
nest behind the mirror, and there were several of them, bats there. And we were running
know
with the
them?
bats because they didn't make any noise or anything.
Well,
But to make a nest.
It was wooded over.
You know what
it
happened?
wasn't completely wooded.
How'd they get into the chimney?
No, through the
Somehow.
door somehow.
Somebody opened the door and it walked behind you.
They may have flown in from the chimney. You're
Well,
right.
but the thing is that if they have a nest, you gotta have at least two of them, right?
Yeah, there were more than
So there was a
Believe
number of
me,
them back there.
well, they came to the door, and the policeman says, "Lady, take your." He saw I was very upset. He says, "Take your children and your dog." We had the,
Which one
the
was
white
it?
dog. We had Yena.
No, you
You know,
didn't have
Mimi.
Nina.
We had Mimi, the little poodle. He says, "Take your dog and your children and go in the bedroom and close the door." Meantime.
What did the police think it was?
Meantime, he says, "Where's your broom closet?"
Well,
He wanted a broom to chase it, but they put their guns away, and then they're screaming out loud, "I got him! No, you got him! Oh, there he is! Oh no! Watch out! He's on your head! He's going on your head!" And Mrs. Storm hears all of this, and she thought that Grandpa was beating me up. And she says, "Let's sell the house, even though we just bought it. We can't live in a neighborhood like this,
oh my gosh.
where the wife beater lives right next door."
And they always tell us that story. They said we were going to move out right away.
Wait, how did you finally discover where the nest was, though?
They did.
The police did?
Police.
Good detective work.
Yeah, they did it.
Yeah.
That was really.
But
good.
I was scared stiff.
Well, it's just a bat. I don't understand
No,
why it was so
because-
frightening.
You know what happened the next morning?
Oh, you
took-
see these bats.
You know,
Just and if they get caught in your hair, forget about
the
it.
policeman. You want to hear what happened? The policeman took he whacked the bat with a broomstick, with a broom, and he threw it in the front lawn. In the morning we get up and there's this bat on the screen door with his hands clutching on the screen door. I says, we can't go in or out. There's a bat on the door.
That's how it got in on the
So
first
I yelled
place.
across
The
my
door.
neighbor across the way, Frank, and I said, please help us get the bat on the door. So he says, lady, I want nothing to do with the bat. He wouldn't help us.
What'd you do?
So I took the broom again.
I would have helped
quietly
you.
opened the door and I banged it on the
You
head.
quietly
I killed it. It was terrible.
Oh my! You killed it.
And you know what? You know what they made behind the mirror?
A
Nest.
A nest. A black, it was with black soil. I couldn't believe it.
So not only did you
Times
get
I cleaned the mirror, and I never heard anything back there.
so this whole time you've got two bats that somehow mysteriously got in your house you didn't know, made a nest out of mud, and
Yeah,
were living back there.
they were living.
That's how busy we were.
They were actually living behind that mirror.
What did they eat, I wonder?
I don't know.
But-
Maybe they were eating your mice.
Yeah,
Maybe they
but-
were your friends.
Well, I can't. You know what?
I
I
don't
can't
know.
believe. Actually, thinking about this,
But-
why didn't the dog go ballistic?
Why did the dog know that they were
Yeah.
behind there? He
That's
never.
He's
She
a
never
dumb
did.
dog.
She
But you
never-
know, like a
she-
dog should know
she-
there's a
She
nest
never,
of bats.
She never made any mention of.
She never mentioned the bats to you. The dog.
No, but she
How
never went to
rude.
the mirror and growled at it
or
anything.
howled or anything.
I think Yana probably would, but I don't know. That was Mimi. Mimi was kind of docile,
Yeah, she.
so I don't.
You
know.
didn't like any of the dogs, though, did you, Grandpa?
No, the dogs were dogs.
He's not a dog
I'm
person.
not a dog person.
He had a pigeon once. That was that was the sum total.
And a
of his-
lamb.
That was the sum
We
total of his
ate for Easter.
What?
Yeah, like
In Brooklyn?